Welcome to High Infidelity, the best cheating videos on YouTube. If you enjoy this content, remember to subscribe and turn on notifications. Now let's get into the video.
My wife has a year-long affair with her coworker. I dumped her. She drops back and wants remarriage. My ex and I met in college and were madly in love all 4 years in school. Got married after graduation in 2010. In 2013, I caught her in a year-plus affair with a coworker. I was crushed. She said they loved each other, soulmates, didn't mean to hurt anyone, blah blah blah. We divorced only 3 months later. I was crushed. Worst time in my life. I mourned for over a year. I heard they got married. One day I decided I was tired of being sad, so I completely let go of her in my heart, got off my butt, and truly moved on. I'm a programmer by profession and decided to take a pre-sale solutions consultant gig with one of the biggest software companies on the planet. The job has been amazing. I traveled the entire world, every continent and all the major cities. Life has been a great adventure. I never did date seriously or remarry. I'm not opposed to casual dating and have dated beautiful women all over the globe. After my experience with marriage, I decided that wasn't my path and have been happy. Sometimes lonely, especially during holidays, but overall happy. I had decided enough traveling for a while, so I switched roles and am based in a major city in the US. I'm sitting in a diner on a Saturday morning eating breakfast and reading the news, Facebook, Reddit, etc. And somebody says, "Oh my God." The voice sounded like one of my women friends at work, so I looked up to say hi and my jaw dropped. It's my ex-wife. Here I am 2,000 plus miles away from our old hometown. Haven't seen her in almost 6 years, and there she is. I was dumbstruck. All I could manage was hi. I hate to say it, but she looked beautiful. She said I looked amazing. She asked if I was busy, and that she didn't want to bother me, but that she'd love to talk. I said sure. We ended up talking for over 2 hours and continued for another couple of hours when we went for a walk in a close-by park. We were making small talk about mutual acquaintances, my stories of traveling the globe. Everything but the elephant in the room. She finally asked me if I had gotten remarried at any point. I said no, once was enough. She seemed sad by that. We walked in silence for maybe a minute, and she said, "I have to say that I'm so sorry for what I did to you. You didn't deserve it. It was incredibly and has haunted me since it happened. You didn't do anything wrong." I said, "You fell in love with someone else and married them. I couldn't stop you from doing that. I wanted you to be happy." Then I asked, "Are you happy?" She laughed, one of those joke laughs. Ha. She told me the OM and her fought constantly, and he ended up cheating on her and leaving her 2 years into marriage. I said, "I'm sorry that happened to you. I know how bad that can hurt." She said she knew. That when her heart was broken, all she could think of was that she had done the same thing to me, and that tortured her. She said she fell apart for almost a year, engaged in very self-destructive behavior, and then went to therapy to figure out why she's so screwed up. She said that was extremely helpful, and several years ago, she finally grew up and holds herself accountable for her own actions now. She had ended up moving to this city because she has an aunt that she loves that lives there, and after her second divorce before age 30 she needed to make big changes in her life. The changes were noticeable. She's definitely more mature. I had to go and get ready for the evening with friends, so we said our goodbyes. We exchanged contact info and agreed to go have coffee and talk more. We have been doing that. We're both single. I guess there's no harm. I can tell she wants more from me. She wants me to want her back. She drops hints as big as the Pacific Ocean. I'm not dumb. I have to admit she still has that certain something that just makes my heart skip a beat. Something I can't describe. Something I hadn't found in anyone else since her. I guess it's chemistry between us. To be honest, I want to be more than friends. I want to hold her and kiss her. She wants that too, but yet I've made 0 moves. What holds me back? Fear. I'm afraid of getting hurt again. If she had been a casual girlfriend that dumped me, I would have shaken it off and moved on quickly. She wasn't though. She was my wife and the love of my life. I used to dream of her somehow coming back into my life. Well, here it is, and I'm scared. I don't know if I can give her that much of myself again. I'm way more protective of my heart now. We've both grown a lot, and the past seems like 100 years ago. If she wasn't who she is, I'd already be head over heels in love. I struggle with, do I pursue love with her again, or do I leave the past in the past? It sounds cliche, but it just had to be her. Of all the people I could have met here, it had to be her. Update. We got remarried over the Christmas holidays, and we're now pregnant. She has grown a lot as a person. So have I. We're not kids anymore. We're in an adult relationship, and it's much better than before. Throw in the chemistry we've always had, and it's wonderful. I couldn't be happier. I do want to address the accusations that she tracked me down. She didn't. She had moved to our current city before I did. She really had moved on, went to therapy, and had grown a lot as a person. I just happened to be in that diner. We think it had to be fate or some type of intervening force. Neither of us are religious, but the astronomical odds of us running into each other, both single, and in a city neither of us had ever lived in, are hard to ignore. Obviously, the universe had a plan for us. Story 2. I, 28F, overheard my neighbor, 30F, berating abusing her child, 5M, over homework, and can't stop thinking about it. My neighbors have always been very loud. I've heard screaming and yelling for a while, but I'd kinda just got used to it. I always thought it was just them. Being loud people, kids screaming the way they do. The girl and boy are 4-5 years old. Last night was really bad, so I put my ear to the wall and heard everything. The mom was yelling at her kid, in kindergarten, about homework. She said things like, "You're in kindergarten and still don't know this. Do you know your alphabet?" Kid says yes. "Well, it doesn't look like it. How hard is this? You put a space there and a line here. You're going to be 10 in kindergarten at this rate, and then lots of I'm done, I'm done, I'm done, and shut the ups." She was sobbing loudly at one point for like 10 seconds, which I felt kinda like a show, manipulative. Her kid trying to cuddle her, and she said, "No, don't come over here. Don't touch me. Go to daddy." I feel awful. I know she must be stressed. Homework is hard. The kids go to school in person though. When I see them, they seem very sweet and happy, but I only see them out and about the complex with their dad, who is always very sweet, holds both their hands. The mom always looks, doesn't even wave back. I'm in TX, so a brief wave, and how's it going are customary in passing. Much about reporting these things, if this is even reportable. Like my mom was not a saint, alcoholic during my teens, and absolutely verbally/physically abusive. But damn y'all, this was bad and honestly so upsetting. Made me cry. I don't think I even conveyed how ugly it was above. I had bad dreams. What would even happen if I reported this? Would you report this? I know CPS is really not good and can make things worse. I hear her yell all the time and never really listen in. Once I did, and she was screaming at them to go lay down at like 7 p.m. Now, I'm wondering how often this must happen. I assumed it was related to sports because they get loud during game nights. TLDR, overheard neighbor cussing and berating her kid over his homework. Feel really disturbed and unsure if there is something to be done, as said. What would you do? Mind? My business is the easy answer, but I feel really awful for these little kids. Story 3. My girlfriend insults my style. My girlfriend, 19F, is insulting my 20M new clothing style. I usually dress in standard jeans and a college hoodie, but I am trying to experiment a little with my fashion to get a vintage/indie look. My girlfriend said I'd look gay wearing light blue jeans. I don't think she meant it to be an insult, and that's not who you are. Recently, we took a couple photos and she made me change out of an outfit I was proud of because she wanted me to dress the way she wanted. Am I thinking about this too deep, or is this just something normal? TLDR. My girlfriend doesn't like my style.